this one, Safia, released some 2-3 months ago. It's part of his latest body of work. The perfect start to a cool Wednesday morning, if you ask me. Not too sure what the temperatures are like where you are, but do connect with us on our socials. My name is Helen Appiah-Ampofo, and I'll be co-piloting this morning on 3FM Sunrise, on 3FM 92.7.
Inside that we know no self say we day inside since the door's been open, but we still greedy for more doors, you see. I have a life, I got the knowledge, so don't need the fees. You made the doors, you change the locks, I still go find the keys. And if you interrupt, I meditate to find my peace. That's why it's hard for me to drop my keys and chase your keys. Focused, I'm fucking focused, nothing could touch this focus. While we stay up and working hard, some are still wiping noses. I'm growing, please up my doses. Feeling like I'm the chosen. One way they come, they open. I got you all open, and then if you don't never allow it.
Well, we still haven't heard from Felicity Ahafionyo, chief forecaster with the Ghana Met. I believe it was on Monday. She put us on notice that GMET is on strike. But according to their social media handles, and you can find them on X, well, the social media handle is at Ghana Meteorological Agency. Aye, too big of a mouthful. But according to their social media post, it's said to be a fairly clear day across the country with some moderate showers, it appears. In Salt Pond, Accra, all the way through to Aflao. Do with this information what you will. 92.7 Urban Lifestyle Radio Station. Some 30 minutes past the hour of 6. We're going to get stuck straight into the news review. Hughes Sixtus Ullo in the studio with me. I like the braces.
Thank you.
What look are you going for this morning?
Akufo-Addo look.
Akufo-Addo look.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen the president wear braces before, actually.
Come to think of it, no.
I don't think that's his style.
No, it's his trademark is the handkerchief.
Oh.
That handkerchief in the cuff area.
I see. I haven't.
You've not seen that before?
No.
If you know Akufo-Addo, that is him. That is his trademark. Right from when he was member of parliament through to presidency. Even when he became president, I think he was still doing it for some time.
I see.
Yeah.
I'm sending a picture to
Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, President of the Republic of Ghana and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces.
I'm sending a picture to Faustina. It's one of the presidents. It went viral a few days ago, maybe 2 days ago. Sixtus, I'm not sure if you know what picture I'm referring to, but Faustina, there's a picture coming your way. And when I tell you the steez, the aura in that picture, even his fiercest detractors say they have no choice but to acknowledge the sheer style, steez and aura.
Oh gosh.
Yes. Faustina, it's coming your way so that you all can also take a look and tell me if I'm exaggerating.
That is somebody's imagination at work there. It is not a real picture of the president.
What do you mean? That's him.
That's somebody who has put a head on a body and glasses on a face.
You don't think your president has so much steez? We'll let you be the judge. Faustina, when you get a chance, do put up that picture. It was a picture of the week, certainly, because of the style. He was caught unaware. The photographer wasn't, aiming for a particular shot. He was just, I think, walking, and they captured that steez. That's what the kids say. It's tease. Anyway, myself and Sixtus maintaining steez. Myself and Sixtus, we have some papers in front of us. There you go. So we've blown it up on our on our Facebook page, and in fact, you know what? I'll do you one better. Across our socials, we're asking you to rate the steez from 1 to 10. Like I said, Sixtus, even the fiercest of opponents said, as for this picture, dear Adodi, we give it to you.
No, I don't think style. No, Helen, I don't think style. You
Let's jump into the news review. We'll run through the headlines, and then we will we'll get into the details. All right, the Ghanaian Times newspaper this morning has this to say. Mahama calls for truce in Boku conflict. Yesterday, we started that conversation also on 3FM Sunrise. We'll expand the tentacles and also give you the latest as to what is going on in Boku. The women in Boku say they are fed up. They hit the streets yesterday, and in fact, Sixtus also asking for a curfew in Wale Wale. So a lot more happening throughout the day, or a lot more happened throughout the day yesterday. We'll keep you up to speed. Also, on the front page of the Ghanaian Times, renewed chieftaincy dispute. Stop politicizing Boku conflict. And I keep hearing that across the board. Stop politicizing Boku conflict, as Samoa Boateng admonishes politicians. Ghana's vigilante groups increase from 27 to 72. You've got Dr. Adam Bona. I believe that's Dr. Adam Bona. It's a side profile, but I think that's him.
Where?
This picture here, I suspect that's him.
Adam Bona, yeah.
It looks like him, yes. So that's according to Adam Bona. That
you know why this is funny?
Because this is after we have put laws in place to ensure that we have no more vigilante groups.
We count people, weeks and weeks of consultation, passed a law. The thing has now shot up from 27.
The numbers have shifted to 72. Try be careful.
Ghana, my motherland.
Also, Boku under curfew following deadly chieftaincy clashes. The front page of the Ghanaian Times fully dedicated to what's going on in Boku. On the back page, phase out over age electrical appliances. That's the Ghana Science Association to government. Enhance LEAP effectiveness to combat poverty and hunger. That's UNICEF speaking there. The Custodian newspaper this morning, over 553,000 students get 2024-25 free SHS placements. But I believe parents are going to have to be quite quick with their preparation. They have 48 hours to put their kids together, get them together, and send them to school.
The story that Menu Afo read this morning says that the spokesperson to the Minister for Education is defending this. I find it sad. That's the best word I can find. It's sad. In other countries, when things like this happen, the public servants come out. In fact, led by the politicians. The politicians are always the first to come out to apologize to the people.
That's right.
You put parents through this, and you still want to defend it.
Why do we find it so difficult to apologize?
To just say, oh, I'm sorry.
I didn't do the right thing. My thinking wasn't...
Why is our politics like this?
Very defensive.
It's always very defensive. And if you observe, no government institution has ever got anything wrong. Never.
It's always somebody else's doing.
It's always someone else's fault. And they always have the best of intentions, and they never make a mistake. And I mean, why? You put parents through this, and you are defending it? Come on. Even if the senior high school, whatever, education, Even if it's as free as we all pretend
that it is,
we shouldn't do this. Even if the parents would just sleep and wake up in the morning and pick their awards to the school and say, this is my child coming for free SHS. I am not paying anything. I am not buying anything. I am not doing anything. Just put my child in the dormitory and in the classroom. Even if that were the case, we still have to apologize because you can't do this.
Absolutely. Why does officialdom not believe that the average Ghanaian deserves ease, deserves for things to work at a particular time in a particular order? Fellow Ghanaians, you deserve ease. Also on the front page of the Custodian newspaper, UTAG suspends Galamsey strike that came through sometime yesterday. NPP mourns Appiah Donkor's death. We are all mourning Appiah Donkor's death. Bawumia is the best to secure Ghana's progress, and that's coming from Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempe, aka Napo. He's the NPP vice presidential candidate. Also, Keed Ghana, second ranked in telecom sector. The News Center newspaper has this to say: MTN cautions public against freely giving out Ghana card information. Don't give out your Ghana card information to anyone. 447,698 placed in SHS. 104,918 to do self-placement. Also, Babing stalls multi-billion dollars bauxite lithium deals. That is how the News Center has captured it, that the Speaker of the House, Alban Bagbin, is getting in the way of multi-billion dollars that is coming the way of Ghana. He said bauxite, lithium, everything. He's standing in the way of the billions that we're going to.
And it is the Speaker standing in the way.
Mr. Speaker, why are you standing in the way of the billions that should be coming the way of? That's the News Center newspaper. Yes, NPA boss named Public Sector Personality of the Year at Ghana Business Awards. And very sad one here. 5 drown as car plunges into Owabi River. Sixtus, what do you have?
Let me start with Ghana's favorite newspaper, the Daily Guide newspaper. Appiah Donkor dead. Our condolences to the family. But as we are learning, we started learning, this death has serious implications on our elections and electoral calendar.
Absolutely.
And we'll continue to learn more about that. We seem to be testing every aspect of our constitution as we go on. I think this is the first time this is happening.
That's right.
And we haven't really been here before, where a presidential candidate passes on before the elections and something would have to happen.
Yes.
That part of the constitution hasn't been tested until now. So we see what happens. We know the Electoral Commission has already written to the GFP.
That's right.
To find a replacement for our beloved Appiah Donkor. 2 things for them to do: either to promote the running mate and find a running mate, or to find a flag bearer altogether, and running mate remains running mate. Or they can also even say that they are not doing again.
That too is an option. Maybe they'll say that this is a time for mourning, and
for mourning,
they won't be able to campaign.
With 38 days to the election, we don't think we can mobilize another candidate for this election, so we'll use it to mourn our candidates and to celebrate the life of our candidates. So it's also an option. But what happens if they decide to do that? You see, all those are conversations that will come up.
Things have certainly gotten very interesting. I mean, it's a stark reminder that anything at all can happen, and you can't take anything for granted. I'm very keen to see what the GFP decides as far as this elections is concerned.
They have 10 days. That's somewhere within next week. No, 2 weeks. In 2 weeks' time, we will know what their decision will be and what the implication would be on on the rest of the electoral calendar. All right. Bawumia is my ideal successor. Nana Addo is speaking. Of course, it cannot be Mahama. You cannot be advocating for Mahama. You see, so I don't have a problem when Mahama says, not Mahama, when
Akufo-Addo, yes.
When Akufo-Addo says Bawumia is my successor, what I have a problem with is when he says that, I must hand over to, and make such pronouncements on political platforms in front of teeming party supporters, sympathizers, and the most dangerous ones, the fanatics.
Is this not par for the course? Is that not how politicians excite the fan base with these very boisterous comments? I understand that the undertones of that are quite problematic, because if you say I must and I will, the implication is that at all costs, this is the only direction these particular elections can go.
That is the statement that is made. Because, see, Helen, I can, if I mount a platform and I am Nana Addo, I will rather be urging the teeming supporters of the party and voters and sympathizers to vote. So my statement would go probably like, ensure that I hand over to by voting massively for.
Okay.
Do you get it?
Okay.
So you are giving the people the responsibility.
You can excite them in that way.
Exactly.
That's sounding politically correct.
Yes, in fact, that is what you must be. You must be politically correct, especially on a campaign platform.
So you say it's dangerous for him to say, I must.
It's very dangerous. So far, what we have heard from the president has been dangerous commentary on who he wants to hand over to. But I want to hand over to. No, it's not up to you.
But you see, the president is not alone in that pronouncement. Brian Echampo and many other party stalwarts have said the same thing. You remember Lord Comey, Ekita Tumi, Minfa Mao, and then Brian Echampo said the same things. It only tells you that these are conversations that have happened indoors. And now those who are bold and brave enough are the ones bringing them outside. But it doesn't. I mean, this will be the base for breaking the 8. That's the whole basis for breaking the 8. So now the question is, now that the 8 is not within the domain of the MPP, what happens?
You see, but there are some commentaries that will say leave this one to the full.
Yeah, let it pass.
Don't be the one to say it.
Let the small boy say it.
Let the small boy say it. At the end of the day, the rest of the country will be looking up to you to call the small boys to order.
Right.
So if the president himself had not made such pronouncements, and Brian Echampo, who is not a small boy anyways, goes ahead to make such pronouncements,
right,
the expectation would have been on the president to call Brian
to order
and say that no, this is not the way to go.
And we will get it.
Exactly. But if the president leads the charge and is the one making such pronouncements, do you expect the president to, even if he wanted to, do you expect him to have the moral authority to be able to do it?
The president, I remember at one of the anniversaries of the MPP, that was when he said that he will hand over to the next MPP flag bearer.
Yes.
It was at that was where he actually launched that thing. Then subsequent to that, Lord Comey made that comment at the Greater Accra Regional, some party gathering of a sort, a conference or something. And then later you'd have the president repeat and many others repeat. Brian Echampo, now the president is at it again. And the likes of IDEG and many others have said that this is a dangerous way to go, because what if Ghanaians decide that they won't vote for Dr. Bawumia? What will happen? Will you still insist that you want to hand over to, your
In fact, there are many that are saying that there seems to be some seeming, I don't want to use the word desperation, but it's pungent, and that stench is coming from the quarters of the NPP that come hell or high water, we must stay here.
Must stay in power.
And people are asking on social media and beyond, what is the reason? There's 30 plus million of us. Is there something that we should know that somebody else cannot also take charge? You've done some, okay? We've done some. You can also take a step away. I mean, we are one people with one destiny. Right. What is it? What is so important that only you must do this particular job?
Maybe your destiny is not as good enough as mine.
President Kufuor did that. He came out boldly to say that election or no election, I'm handing over on this day.
Right.
If you recall.
Right, I remember that.
Yes. And that election was one of the 10th elections that we had in this country.
Right.
And President Kufuor made a public pronouncement, in fact, declaration. Whether you do the election or media, I'll hand over.
I'm down.
You know, there were back-end conversations, and when you talk to some of the big wigs within the party, they tell you that, look, people were actually impressing upon President Kufuor not to hand over power. And he says, no, I finished my
I've done my bit.
There's no
I'm
point.
off.
And today, we celebrate him as a statesman. I mean,
whether you are MPP or NDC or CPP, you respect President
you
Kufuor.
respect him.
Because he conducted himself very highly when it came to matters like this. It doesn't matter what other things you have to say about him.
Well, the Accra Times says ignorance and poverty are bane. Speaker Bagbin reminds African leaders. The speaker is throwing a lot of violence these days. Vote for Mahama and NDC. Alhaji Musa Bari says so. And Ayenswano MP Educational Fund supports 40 students to go back to school. Facelift for Parliament. As Speaker Bagbin comments ADK Consortium. Also, Jospon Group on top in the agenda in Uganda. Ignorance and poverty. Okay, so that's a repetition of the... that's a beautiful photo of the two speakers, Speaker Okwe and Speaker Bagbin, in a very, very warm handshake.
This is from the program.
Yeah, the program. Yes, over the weekend. Yeah, and the dean of the parliamentary press corps, Simon himself, wrote this story.
Man.
So he should tell you that this story is a big story, Helen. It's a very big story. You know, when the dean of the parliamentary press corps writes a story, it's a big story.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, let's pause it now. We'll take a few messages. When we come back,
But
Johnny's
tell them
Bite.
to go to our Facebook.
No, they've comments there, though.
Certainly.
Capsules General says, rest in peace, my flag bearer. Right now, I don't know who to vote for.
The next time.
Joseph Na says, back to you soon. And Capsules General says, free SHS, but the thing is, how quality is the meals? Why is this part of the conversation missing? Well, it's not been missing. We've been talking about it here on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. Only
Always.
that the officialdom doesn't listen. Sixtus so this is to you. Say Sixtus, let a different person win and let him deny handing over. The country will be small for us. If the country is for them, they will tell us.
We'll be right back. Don't go too far. Johnny's Bites, a.k.a. the People's Bite, comes your way shortly after.
Please, how much is the rice? It depends on size, no. 5 kilogram, no. And no, for 120 Ghana cedis.
120 Ghana cedis?
Ayo, right now, the importers are complaining